Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Hare Krishna. Just a minute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Sai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sripad, Gurudev Sripad.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev Sripad, Gurudev Sripad.
जय गुरुवारा शिला श्रीपाद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
Narayanam Namaskritya
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं,
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
ततो जयम् उदीरये।
Tato Jayamudire
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
Ashtapraeshu Abhadreshu
नित्यं भागवत सेवया,
Yam Bhagavata Sevaya
भगवती उत्तम श्लोके
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter number 14, Text 11. Tasya bharya sahasranam
Tasya Bharya Sahasranam
sahasrani dasha bhavan
Sahasrani Dasha Bhavan.
samtani kaschapi nrupo
I cannot see. Sahasrani Kasyana Rupo.
Okay. Uh, you're seeing now, Maharaji?
No, it's trying to come. It's circling
Oh,
over B.S. Brihaspati Swamiji. Okay.
okay. Maybe our
It's all right. It's all right. You can take over, Maharaj. Yes.
तस्य
Santani.
भार्या सहस्राणि तस्य भार्या सहस्राणां
Tasya bharya sahasranam.
सहस्राणि दशाभवन्
Sahasrani dasha bhavan.
शान्तानि कश्चापि नृपो
Santani kaschapi niko.
न लेभेतासु सन्ततिम्.
Na lebhe tasu santatim.
Chitraketu had 10 million wives, but although he was capable of producing children, he did not receive a child from any of them. By chance, all the wives were barren. Rupaudarya Vayojanma. Text number 12. Rupaudarya Vayojanma Vidyaisvarya Sriyadhibihi Sampannasya Gunai Sarvais Chinta Bandhya Pater Abhut. Chitraketu, the husband of these millions of wives, was endowed with a beautiful form, magnanimity, and youth. He was born in a high family. He had a complete education, and he was wealthy and opulent. Nevertheless, in spite of being endowed with all such assets, he was full of anxiety because he did not have a son. Purport by Hidayangre Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ho. It appears that the king first married one wife, but she could not bear a child. Then he married a second, a third, a fourth, and so on. But none of the wives could bear children. In spite of the material assets of Janmaishwarya Srutasri, birth in aristocratic family with full opulence, wealth, education, and beauty, he was very much aggrieved because, in spite of having so many wives, he had no son. Certainly, his grief was natural. Grahastha life does not mean having a wife and no children. Chaniki Pandita says, Putra Hinam Gruham Sunyam. If a family man has no son, his home is no better than a desert. The king was certainly most unhappy that he could not get a son, and this is why he had married so many times. Kshatriyas especially are allowed to marry more than one wife, and this king did so. Nonetheless, he had no issue. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshirnena Tamyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Guru Maharaj Srila Shripad Ki. So we are having a discussion about Chitraketu now. This story is being revealed to answer the question raised by Parikshit Maharaj, that how come a, a person who is in the body of a demon could have such wonderful devotional. attitude, even though it is very difficult. So, because it is mentioned by our Parshit Maharaj, Uktanam api siddhanam narayana parayanaha sudurlabha prasantatma kotishvapi mahamune. So it is very, very rare to find a devotee who is Narayana Parayana. So Narayana Parayana means one who has made Narayana the ultimate goal of life. One who has taken shelter of Lord Narayana. Such a person is very, very rare. And here we see that Vrittasura, being a demon, he was very, very devotional. He was very devotee. Devotee, even Indra could be impressed. Even Indra was impressed. Even Indra was surprised to see. Though in general, demigods are supposed to be the devotees of the Lord, and the demons, they are supposed to be the non-devotees. So that's what in Bhagavad Gita Lord Krishna mentions. Those who do not surrender to the Lord, those who have accepted the Asura Bhava. So being born in the family of Asuras, or Vritrasura, supposed to be disobedient. But we see here he is so obedient that he is ready to lay down his life, having known the plan of the Lord. What could be more obedience? What could be more obedient one can be to lay down his life for the sake of the Lord with pleasure, so much so that he was encouraging Indra. He was encouraging Lord Indra to fight and kill him, because he has the blessings of the Lord to succeed in the war. And when it is the plan of the Lord for other person to succeed, it is a great pleasure. That is the true nature of a devotee. That is a true surrender. Or true devotion is to work for the pleasure of the Lord. Can any one of you tell one more example where somebody is fighting with pleasure, knowing that he will be defeated because of the plan of the Lord, and is very happy? Any other example? Anyone? Prabhuji, can anyone unmute?
Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh Maharaj.
They are not fighting out of pleasure, Maharaj. They are fighting to win, not to lose. In the sense that like Vritrasura here is fighting not to win but to lose. But by seeing his force, it appears that he is fighting to win, but he knows he is going to lose. And he is fighting to lose, because that is what is the plan of the Lord, with pleasure. Hiranyakashipu, they may know, I don't know exactly. If they came to know is the Lord himself, but they may not be thinking they will be defeated. They will be thinking they can kill the Lord. But maybe at the end, maybe they came to know that they have no choice other than to.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes, Hari Bol. I also have the same in my mind. Bhishmadev is fighting on the battlefield, but he knows that that
Bali
time
Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj,
Yes, he's
when
not
did he?
fighting, but he knows that he will be defeated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 50% marks. Correct. But he's not uh, resisting, he's not fighting. But it's okay. There's no fight. But it's okay, yes. Bali Maharaj, after knowing his Vishnu, he was very happy to surrender his position. So in Bali Maharaj's case, it is between the Lord and the Bali Maharaj. But in the case of Vritrasura, it is not between the Lord and the person, the devotee himself. Because if it is between the Lord and us, it is will be very happy. Okay, Lord, whatever you want to take it. But when it is with another devotee, whom Krishna wants to succeed in our competition, what is it be pleasure for us? Will it be pleasure to be defeated by another devotee, or not even devotee, or uh, or not the devotee on the standard platform, like in this case Vritrasura. So similarly, Bhishma Dev, see, Bhishma Dev, he knows he's fighting, but he's fighting if fiercely sometimes, but he knows what Krishna wants. So we know wonderful pastime how Krishna is trying to please Bhishmadev, and how Bhishmadev is trying to please the Lord amidst of this great war that is going on. That Krishna has promised that he will not handle the weapon, but Bhishmadev has promised that he will make handle the weapon. He will make the Lord handle the weapon. So the best way to make the Lord to handle a weapon is to disturb his devotee. Bhishmadev knows very well. So he attacked Arjuna so fiercely that Lord has to take the weapon. And so so that means if we disturb the Lord, then if we disturb the devotees of the Lord, then definitely Lord will be disturbed with us. Lord will be angry, will be punished immediately. So Bhishmadev attacked Arjuna so fiercely that Arjuna could not stand. So then Krishna has come down, took the wheel to rush towards Bhishmadev like a lion rushing, and Bhishmadev was completely satisfied by seeing the Lord in that form, in that mood, protecting his devotee and keeping the words of his devotee. Because Lord can protect Arjuna in many ways, but in order to protect the promise of Vishwadev, that he will make the Lord handle the weapon. Yes, I will be defeated. I have no the Lord is very happy to be defeated in the hands of his devotee. The devotees, he loves his devotees so much that he doesn't mind to be defeated in the hands of his devotee. So it is very wonderful quality of the Lord that he wants to keep his devotees above him. He wants to keep his devotees to be more virtuous than him. He wants to keep his devotees to be more glorious than him. So, so, but it's okay. But on Bhishmadev part, why he make the Lord handle the weapon and that way make the Lord lose his reputation? Being a devotee, he is supposed to glorify. But why did Vishwadev make Lord Krishna break his promise, by which he will be criticized having broken his promise? Is because he want to glorify the Lord's this quality. Otherwise, this quality will not be known. Everybody doesn't know about this quality so much. That Lord, in spite of he being the supreme for his devotee, for his devotee, he's always ready to be being defeated by his devotees. Means he will break his own promise to keep the promise of his devotee. Means he values the words of his devotees so much. The words and promise of devotees mean so much to the Lord. That's why Krishna says, Kaunte pratijani name bhakta pranasyati. So, Arjuna, you declare that because if you declare, then people know for without any, there is no chance that that your declaration will be, because you are a devotee, my devotee. If you declare, there is no chance of that being not followed, that not being sustained. So this is a wonderful quality of the Lord, which Bhishmadev is bringing out in the midst of this ghastly warfare. It appears like, big, everybody is fighting, but there is loving exchange going on between Bhishmadev and Lord Krishna. Same between Arjuna and Krishna. It is mentioned that so much affection that is flowing between Krishna and Arjuna while the war is going on. Every glance that Krishna is having upon Arjuna and Arjuna is having glance upon Krishna. So much uh, devotion, so much affection between them. This is how the devotional service is conducted, out of affection. The real devotional service. So this war is going on. Arjuna is fighting big war, but it is going on as a loving service to Krishna. So a couple of days ago, we are having a discussion. There is a question that the Bhagavad Gita is all about this war. I am not interested in war. Why I have to learn Bhagavad Gita? So the question is that why we should read Bhagavad Gita is about the war. So we were discussing that this is not about war. It is about devotional service. It is about the Lord. It is about Atma, Paramatma, and then loving devotional service between Atma and Paramatma. And war is only an example. Arjuna being Kshatriya, his duty, how to do the duty of a Kshatriya as a loving service to Krishna. That is Bhagavad Gita. It is not about the war. Similarly, we may be a Brahmana, we may be a Vaishya, we may be a Sudra. How we can similarly render our service, our occupation as a loving service to Krishna. This is the art of working. Yoga karmashu kausalam. This is the art of working. To work for the pleasure of the Lord. To work out of affection for the Lord. As an exchange of affection between the Lord and his devotee. And so that is Bhagavad Gita. So the same thing can be done with us, with our duty. We can do similarly, we can do the render our occupational duty as a service to the Lord. That is the art we have to learn. Not to protect myself and my assets from the service of the Lord. I encourage everybody, but I keep my own assets safe. Encourage everybody, give donation. I will also give little donation. That is not the idea. My occupation, everything of mine that belongs to the Lord. Manasa deha geha jokichu mora arpitu tuya pade nanda kishora. My mind, my body, my house, my family members, my family, whatever that may be, that I think mine or people think that belongs to me, I offer all of them at your lotus feet. So this is the mood of a devotee, and that is the art of devotion. Whatever that belongs to us, how we can completely surrender, arpan to the lotus feet of the Lord, to being used as the Lord wishes, to being used as Sri Guru wishes. So that is the art of working. When one starts working in that mode, then the real Divya Gnana Hruday Prakashito, the real transmission of transcendental knowledge happens. Prema Bhakti Jaha hoite, avidya vinasa jayate. So when there is prema and bhakti, affection, service out of affection to Sri Guru and Krishna, they both are same, two sides of the same coin. So such a person is eligible to receive transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, theoretical knowledge is available every day in the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, evening Bhagavad Gita class, and during the daytime when we study, theoretical knowledge is, a lot of theoretical knowledge is available. But the theoretical knowledge establishes as a irrevocable fact in our heart when this transcendental loving service, when we start serving out of affection. And here also we see a couple of slokas before that Sukadeva Goswami was speaking out of affection for, lot of affection for his student Parikshit Maharaj. In 7 days, he's completing Bhagavatam recitation for 7 days, but nothing is going out from this year to this year. Everything is going from 2 years inside the heart of Parikshit Maharaj, because there is that loving relationship between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So in the beginning of this narration, it is mentioned that Sukadeva Goswami started speaking out of affection for his student, because Parikshit Maharaj completely surrendered to Sukadeva Goswami. In what situation? His life is in danger, and he has kept his life in the hands of his teacher Sukadeva Goswami. And he has such a Shraddha to hear, listen, such a wonderful pariprashna service. He is surrendered and listening. Shravanam, he is doing a wonderful service of Shravanam and fully dedicating his life, surrendering his life at his lotus feet. Parikshit Maharaj has surrendered his life at his remaining life, whatever it is. 7 days, 7 days is enough. So there is a question, at the age of 60, is it still possible to go back to Krishna by following this devotional process? Very much possible. It all depends on our attitude. Just like Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj has only 7 days. In 7 days, he could go back. So we don't need years, we just need days. Whatever life we have remaining, how much ever it may be, if we completely surrender, like Parikshit Maharaj has surrendered, he has put his life in the hands of his teacher, his spiritual master. That I have only 7 days. Please tell what should I do. I will do whatever it is. He's not running back to his home, trying to take care of his family, wives, children. His next, his descendant who will continue next as the next king. He's not concerned. He's only concerned about. He has completely surrendered himself. This is called giving up the sense of proprietorship. So he has given up completely the sense of proprietorship, that I am the king. I have this responsibility. No, I am not the king. I am put for temporary purpose, and now the time is up. So I have no regrets. I have no regrets in giving up and surrendering to the Sri Guru, spiritual master. So he has given up the sense of proprietorship. And that's why Parikshit Maharaj could completely surrender himself without worrying about such a great kingdom. So at least when the death is coming to near, when one crosses 60, one should take the similar path. 50, at the 50, one should ring the bell and say, call it, give it a call. So uh, this loving devotional service, affection, when the disciple is fully dependent on the spiritual master, when he gives up all his plans and surrender the plans to the spiritual master, and the symptom is that he doesn't mind being defeated by according to the plans of his spiritual master. Actually, there will be no defeat because one will not compete with anybody without knowing the mind of Sri Guru. There is no competition. Even if some situation arises, if one is true devotee of Krishna, Krishna conscious, if one is Krishna conscious, he will have the same consciousness, same mood as Krishna. Like Krishna has a mood, Krishna takes pleasure in being defeated by his devotee. Similarly, the devotee, one who is Krishna conscious, one who knows the consciousness of Krishna, one who is imbibes similar consciousness, he also celebrates being defeated by devotee of Krishna. So, so in this way, sense of proprietorship and false ego. This is called false ego. This is how we turn our false ego to Krishna, the real ego. The real ego is that I am servant of Krishna. So therefore, the false ego is all this, I am this, I am that, and I have to. Therefore, I am intelligent, I am strong, I am expert. So therefore, I deserve. So these are all false ego. So when we really started working upon this false ego, that is when we see tremendous progress in our life. Tremendous progress. Otherwise, devotional service sometimes appears a little bit stagnating. We are chanting Hare Krishna but not happy. Why? Why? Because of this. Because this false ego has not been given up. This false ego, we are not working on the false ego. We are enjoying our false ego. We are enjoying our position. We are enjoying our being successful. We enjoy being the champion. These are all not our real identity. Our real identity is Gopi Bhatra Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasa Dasa. So we are servant of the Lord. So which means we take pleasure in what Lord takes in pleasure. Means facilitating the Lord in what he takes the pleasure. So that is called Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is being conscious of Krishna as well as imbibing the same consciousness as Krishna. That is called being qualitatively one with Krishna. Spirit soul, it is very small, but it can be in quality, it can be same like Krishna. That is when one is liberated. So here Chitraketu is trying, because he is a king. A king supposed to have a child to leave a successor to his kingdom. And also Putrahenam Gruham Shunyam. So we doesn't need to take the path of Chitraketu. Because if that is the will of the Lord, the devotee is okay with that. Maybe Lord wants my full service. That's why He's blessing with no children. Right? So somehow I ended up in this marriage, but if I don't have children, it is okay, fine, whatever Lord wants. I'm fine. So the devotee takes pleasure or console himself seeing the path of the Lord by seeing the arrangement of the Lord. Because if we get married, I try getting child and maybe I have child at the age of 35, 40, right? If I have child late, then when will I free myself from the obligations of the family? I have to come out of family obligations by 50. So whoever wants to get married and have children by 25, so that one can free oneself from the obligations of family life by 50, because they will become 25 when we become 50. And if one doesn't have children, okay, accept. Yeah, maybe this is the will of the Lord. He wants me to free even before 50. Very easy, no children, more easy to fully dedicate to the service of the Lord. So the devotee, the thinking of the devotee is completely different, especially those who are not kings. If one is not king, so the devotee always thinks everything, takes everything as arrangement of the Lord, and he conducts himself in satisfying the needs of the Lord, desires of the Lord, than his own needs and his own desires. So that reflects in everything, in every aspect of our life, and that every aspect of life is an opportunity to work upon our false ego and attain the real ego. It all happens if we develop little affection, little feelings, utter the name of the Lord with little feelings, render the service with little feelings. So if we learn that art of rendering service out of affection, love, then our progress will be very, very fast. So I stop here. Any questions we can discuss?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji, Dhamma Pranam. Yeah, thank you very much for this wonderful class. If anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise the hand. Yes, we already have a question by Amrita Ji. Amrita Ji, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Maharaj and Pranam all the Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam Mataji. We are not hearing you. Maybe signal is not very good. You can come. Let me turn off my video also. It will help you.
Mataji, once again, you can give a try. You can unmute yourself and try to ask your question.
Now you can hear.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My question, as you told that we should attach to our heart to Shri Guru and to Lord. And if the practice, all the sadhanas is blissful, not it is not monotonous, but even if we are attached so much through our heart, then sometimes it is blissful, but sometimes it becomes painful also. Then what we should do that we are able to we are able to that suffering, that pain, we are able to हम बर्दाश्त कर सके to suffer.
Why there is pain? What is the cause of the pain?
That separation.
Separation.
Yes.
That is even better. Pain because of separation is sign of maturity of affection. Affection being matured. So you should celebrate. Who will miss? Separation is basically missing, right? Who will miss? Only one who has affection, he misses. One who doesn't have affection, how will he miss? So in our sampradaya, this the pain in separation is not exactly pain; it is a highest pleasure. This is a little paradox because all our feelings, when they are on the platform of love, they all give happiness. Anandamaya, Sachidananda Vigraha. So the Atma is always, true nature is happiness, which means that all the emotions of the spirit soul, they all give happiness when they are founded in the loving devotional service to the, when they are founded in the love, affection towards Lord and Guru, which means that separation, which is pain, is also source of happiness. It is even uh, the happiness of separation, the happiness of pain of separation is even much, much higher than happiness of meeting. That is what our acharyas are teaching us. Premananda Sukhi. So that pain of separation gives immense happiness. And that is sign of love. So that is an act of love. It will not give actually pain. That the pain is there, but that pain becomes, the separation arises out of the feeling of affection that arises out of separation is much higher than the pain itself. Like like when we do some difficult task for our beloved, the task itself is little painful, but the pleasure that gives is much, much higher, so much higher that we love working hard for our beloved. So if the cause of pain is because of separation, then that is nothing to be worried. That is a path. In fact, if somebody is not feeling pain in separation, one should worry. That is when I know I have no affection, I have no love for the Lord, I have no love for my spiritual master. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Hari.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for your question. And yeah, go in Maharaji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj and all the Prabhus, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Beautifully describing also the relationship, love and separation. And my question is, you touched this point about oneness of the Lord with the devotees on the on the spiritual platform, like the living entity. About Krishna, we describe him like Satchidananda Vigraha, correct? When we say Vigraha means like how to describe Vigraha? Vigraha means the body, correct?
Yes, Maharaj.
Krishna being all-pervading compared to the living entity, the size of the soul. Krishna is all-pervading, so for him, that it's possible that in his case, his body or vigraha is also transcendental. Means in his body, Krishna is everywhere. Compared to when we think of ourselves as living entity, consciously we can think of wide, like almost all pervading. But so what is the oneness when we say one in quality? One in quality when we say, because if you think of the chit, Krishna's chit is his body is also like all pervading. Can we think of that living entity being Chit? But it doesn't have the body like that, even a special body. So the equality is on what basis? When we Chit means both are conscious.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for your wonderful question. I make humble attempt, and Your Holiness can add. In Satchidananda Vigraha, there is uh, there is no Chit. Lord is all pervasive, and that is indirectly ascribed to Satchidananda Vigraha. But it is not directly given as all pervading, or Chit means being full in full knowledge. So we can assume it is all pervasive, but not his body being everything. So in Satchidananda Vigraha, when it is qualitatively applied to the soul is conscious of Krishna. So therefore it is also conscious of everything. Because whatever, in Bhagavad Gita, whatever benefit one is obtained by studying the Vedas, one can also obtain by knowing the conclusion. Same result, same effect. Same effect of knowing the conclusion of the Vedas, that is the Lord Himself. So therefore the living entity, Atma, if it knows Krishna, if Krishna is in its consciousness, if it knows Krishna, then it knows everything that Krishna knows also. It has the same effect. It is same as knowing everything else. So in that sense, we can say a living entity is also fully Chit. And Krishna himself declares that after knowing this, there is nothing further to know. So Vedanta. When you know the Anta, you know everything on the path are considered as being traveled, everything, as being known everything. So otherwise, in 700 slokas, how could we know everything? There is nothing further to know. So living entity, by being knowing Krishna, he knows everything. So in that sense, is also Chit. Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is what I can.
Can I say something? I'm trying to also
yes, please.
Because Krishna is described as a Vibhu Chit. Vibhu means Vyapak. So he's all pervading, all pervadingly conscious. Where the living entity's consciousness is acquired by the blessing of Krishna. Like Krishna says, Maya Sakta Manapatha Yogam Yunjan Madashreya Asanshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Gyashasi Tasman. Krishna is promising that if you become attached to me, then I become attached to you, then you know everything about me. My question is that from viewpoint of Vibhu Chaitanya and Anu Chaitanya, that difference cannot be violated, correct?
Yes, Maharaj.
So what is the oneness is of the spiritual nature? That's the only oneness we can establish, because both are conscious, but consciousness of Krishna is that's why he's called supreme consciousness, And so the Anu consciousness, even when Krishna blesses, okay, whatever you will know everything, but it is the acquired. It is not its a very intrinsic nature. So that difference also has to be established, because otherwise everything will become one like the Mayavadis. So our acharyas, they very much emphasize the difference aspect in order to appreciate the exclusive position of Krishna. Because without establishing a difference in the name of Chit, they will say, yes, just only one soul. So the difference of the soul and its capacity has to be maintained, has to be sustained. Isn't it?
Yes, Maharaj.
Because in essence, Pada, there are two beings. Two beings. Because energy, although Chaitanya Chaitamani describes that Krishna, the original, he expands into 6 aspects, Guru is one of them, Bhakta and Shakti and all these things. But the manifestation of their capacities, that's why they are called with different nomenclature. So simultaneously one and different, we have to emphasize the difference. Without that, the Krishna's very nature, rasik, rasa, without establishing the difference, permanent difference, there would be no reciprocation.
Yes, Maharaj. So, living entity can also be called a chit, because it is called chit kana also.
Yes.
Sat chit. The chit is different from what Krishna's chit, but still it is can be called as a chit because it is conscious of Krishna, or the conclusion, or the one who is everything. So though he may not know details like Krishna knows, but he is considered as having known everything because he knows Krishna. So in that sense, with add-ons, with the differences, oneness, there is also oneness in Satchitananda Vigraha, with which is the quality of the Lord for the living entity also. That's what I am saying, because that is our eternal nature, Chit Kana. So definitely the difference is not to be forgotten, as your holiness has mentioned, but we cannot deny being Satchidananda Vigraha for the living entity also. What is your take on this from the Srimad Bhagavatam? What does it contradict anything? The living entity being we are eternal, we are Chit Kana, Satchit, Ananda. Ananda is completely Ananda. There is no problem in that. Vigraha, we have a form. So it is not exactly like the Lord in the quantity, but in quantity we are also Satchidananda Vigraha in quality. Maharaji, please.
Yes, sir. That's when one becomes Parshad. When we say the living entity, it is the conditioned soul. That's why we haven't attained our eternal Swarup, or the body or form or Vigraha. That's why Krishna, when manifests, he is a total soul. Is from his nail to the hair, everything is soul. That experience we miss in the conditioned state. So until we attain become the associate of the Lord, so the difference remains. Because when we say simultaneously, Achintya Veda Bhed, simultaneously different from Brahma, suppose, So we are simultaneously different from Brahma and situated within Brahma. When they say there is nothing beside Brahma, what is it? Vedanta Sutra? Nothing but Brahma,
Yeah, Khaloidam Brahma, something.
Yeah, exactly. Or Advitiya. There is nothing beside Brahma. Brahma is without the second. That's what I meant to say. But
Yes.
but through variations of Shakti, because from Krishna's viewpoint, his energies are not different from him. He can claim to be everything, and he is. But through variation of Shakti, a single entity is characterized by different functions. So in functions, Advaita Acharya function, our Nityanand Prabhu, another function, Shakti, Radharani, and devotees and Sri Guru, like 6 total expansions. So depending on the nature of the Shakti, characterized by different functions, So one tattva becomes manifest. Because when we talk about the Mayavadis, what is their opinion? Because it's very confusing. Then the notions of Mayavadi intellectuals pertaining to the nature of reality is called Nirvishesh Jnana. Everything is just formless. knowledge of the featureless aspect of Absolute. But Mahaprabhu's message is his Tattvagyan revealed by his Savishes. Savishes we also attain when we attain the Parshadattva. Until then, the living entity is being so utterly minute. It has yet to attain its Vigrahatva.
Okay, Maharaj, there is one more question, I think, by some SDD.
Mataji, please make it short and Maharaji.
Dandavat Pranam Maharaji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Maharaj, my question is any, as you mentioned, like any situation that really bound us to do something in the environment, can we consider that as a Lord's arrangement, or and there is a saying, no, Maharaj, that like certain thing, Janya Shunya Vishya Khaino, like how far we can differentiate these two and stay safe, protected.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So here is we have to distinguish between whether we are bound by the situations or I am bound to the situation. Right? Is body holding on to me or I am holding on to the body? Similarly, whatever situation I am in, am I holding on to the situation or situation is holding on to me? I have always option. So, for example, if we accept certain relationship with a person, then that relationship may bind us to do certain things. But that is because of our independence to establish such relationship. So that is in our hands. That is in our hands. So it is not necessary that every situation that is compelling us is the arrangement of the Lord. So some may not be. One has to meditate on the Lord. One has to approach Sri Guru and find out. That's why Krishna has given Sri Guru, so that we have no confusion. We can explain, I am such a situation, such compulsion is happening. What should I do? Then Sri Guru will exactly know whether the situation is compelling or we are compelling the situation. So who is bound? Whether we are bound to the situation or situation is bound to us, and that situation is this something Krishna's arrangement. And in general, how do we know it is arrangement of the Lord? Is when we see that this is beneficial for my bhakti. Though it is really difficult, when we see it is arrangement, it is beneficial for my bhakti, it is helpful to bring me close to Krishna, when it is helpful to bring close to Sri Guru, then we can think as being arrangement of the Lord. Otherwise it could be that we are bound to the situation. Our heart is bound by knots, ropes of affection. So therefore we are tossed in our life. Therefore Kunti Maharani is praying, please cut off my this knots of affection with Pandavas, because it puts me in so much emotional waves. I become occupied. So let my mind flow like Ganges flow to your lotus feet, and please do two things. One is, please cut my knots of affection with Pandavas and put me always in some difficult situation so that I can remember you always. So, but we are in difficult situation because of our knots of affection to our material relations. But Kunti Maharani is asking, cut my knots of affection to my material family members. and still give me difficulty so that we can remember you. So by little meditation and by seeking guidance from the spiritual master, things will be clear. If it is not clear, please always ask spiritual master, your spiritual master, the situation. Then spiritual master will open our eyes and help us cut our unnecessary attachments, which we think very necessary and basic and which are foundation. So may not be immediately, but they will guide in such a way that slowly we will come out of that. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I hope Mataji got the answer. Yeah, so it is already 9:05. Maybe we can conclude for the day.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की
Jai.
जगद्गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज शिला श्रीपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।
Hari Bol. There are two more questions, but because of lack of time, we are not able to take them. So maybe next time we can help. Hare Krishna. His
Thank you,
Holiness
Prabhu. Hare
Professor
Krishna.
Respect Maharaj ki jai.